Are you heading to Alaska this summer but currently sweating it out in your tank tops and flip-flops? If you're anything like me, then trying to prepare for a cold weather climate while you're sweating it out in a heat wave feels a little out of sync. Hi, I'm Kristi McCullough. I'm a travel advisor and a lifelong educator. And at Harbor and Holiday Travel Company, I like to help people think through their whys for their big bucket list trips. And that includes what's going in your suitcase. So if you want to feel confident and prepared for Alaska without overpacking, then stay tuned because that's what I'm going to cover in this video. My exact process that I use to pack for this kind of trip. Step 1, start with your favorites. What do you already love to wear? What are your go-to pieces in the spring and the fall and in those milder winter days? Think about the jeans, the blouses, the sweaters that you automatically gravitate to. What do you pull out when you're going out on the weekends? Maybe to dinner, maybe for shopping, maybe to meet coffee with a friend. You know, whenever you're going to leave the house. What are your favorites? Because you want to feel confident and comfortable while you're on vacation. Step number 2, choose a color palette. This is where things get strategic. I like to think through maybe 3 to 4 different colors that I would put together, with black or navy probably always being one of those. And I like to strategically pull out different tops and things that would go with jeans or dress pants or even my dresses so that I can mix and match throughout my trip. Now, when people go to Alaska, usually they're going to be gone at least a full week, if not longer. We're going to be gone for 2.5 weeks. And so I am planning with intention to re-wear some of my favorite outfits. That's right. I am planning on wearing it out for an excursion on one day, maybe in Anchorage. And then when we're in Denali National Park, then I might wear it again. Because let's be real. You're not going to be sweating it out in heat and humidity like you are in Florida or the Caribbean. These kinds of things are great examples of how you can pack less, but you can have everything that you need for different types of excursions in your different port cities. Step 3, make a list. That's right. I actually write it down. Well, actually, I type it up because I use the Google Keep app. I love this app. It allows me to make specific little lists for different topics, and I can actually share it with my husband. And so what I do is I go through and I visualize my favorite outfits that I love to wear, and I type it down. I put in the olive jeans and the pink flower top and the light pink sweater, and I just make a list of my favorite outfits so that I can visualize it, and I can also make sure that I don't leave any of my favorites out. I first just get it out of my brain and dump it onto the list. The next thing I do is I shop my closet. I go through my closet and I gather it all into one place so that I can find all of my different favorite outfits that I like to wear. Because it's summer and we're living in this heat wave right now, I might have moved some of those bigger, bulkier sweaters to my off-season storage in my spare room or my office. Then I actually check each piece of clothing. Have the hems come unraveled? Are there any stains? Is there pilling on some of my sweatshirts and things like that? I want to check the overall quality of each piece of clothing. I usually do this step about a week before we're leaving on our trip, and I like to gather everything together and then put it in one section of my closet. Everything from my outerwear, my raincoats, my dresses, my pants, my blouses, anything that I'm going to need. I like to just have it in that one area so that I can keep thinking through the process, see if there's anything I need to add or anything I should take out. The thing is, I want to be able to have it all at my fingertips when it's time to start folding, rolling, and packing. Step 5 is to match your outfits to your itinerary. So you want to make sure that your clothing can match the excursions, but also the weather that is expected to be there. That's right, a few days before it's time to pack, I actually go onto the Weather Channel app and I look up my destination or destinations, all the different ports. And I try to see how far out, 10 days, 14 days, maybe that they're predicting the weather. I look for temperature, but I also look for precipitation. Are we expecting snow, sleet, rain? What's going on here? And so I start to match my outfits for that particular day. I think about, okay, so if I knew that I was going to be doing whale watching on a boat in Juneau on this day when the temperature is going to be at this piece, that it's going to be rainy, then what would I gravitate toward? What would I actually want to wear? And I'll walk over to my closet and pull out some of the options that are my favorite clothing, remember, and decide what best fits this scenario. Then I look at my itinerary that I've typed up, or maybe you have handwritten, and I actually jot down what outfits I think I'm going to wear for this particular occasion. I make little notes to myself about what jeans or pants or sweater or blouse I might actually put on for that type of outfit. Then, because I'm going to rewear, I actually flip to the next page and see, is there any other location that we're going to be that maybe I would wear that same outfit? And I go ahead and I jot it down. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared for outdoor excursions. I'm prepared for dinner reservations. I'm prepared for everything. I've actually done the thinking process right here in my home before I even started packing it in a suitcase. And here's a tip for you. In Alaska, you got to think layers, right? You have to start with your base layer, either a t-shirt or a blouse, something long sleeve, maybe sweatshirt or sweater. You also want to think about outer layers. So what particular rain jacket or wintry coat might you put on? Do you need a scarf? What would look good with this? So try on every layer. And if you look at yourself in the mirror and you still feel good and confident, then it's a keeper. Go ahead. It's going in the suitcase. Step 6, try everything on. Seriously, everything. First of all, I want to make sure that it still fits comfortably. Hello, hormone shifts, right? I want to make sure that I still feel good and confident in it. I want to make sure that there's no stains or anything that I missed earlier when I just grabbed it out of the closet. I want to make sure that everything is perfect. So I try it on. I walk around, I look in a couple different mirrors and angles and make sure that this is still the perfect outfit for that particular day and excursion. Step 7, packing it all up. This is where then you actually take the clothing and you start to pack it into your suitcase. And this is where the questions start coming in. Kristi, do you use packing cubes? Which ones do you recommend? Do they really save space? Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure that they actually save much space, but yes, I do use packing cubes, but I use them differently than most people do. Now, how a lot of people use packing cubes is they do it by the type of clothing. They will put all of their sweaters in one. They will put all of their jeans and pants in another. They might put their pajamas or their underwear and socks in a different one. And you know what? That's okay if you're going to stay in one location and then unpack everything when you get there. But on an Alaska trip, especially a cruise, that you might be in a couple of different hotels. You might actually go to a hotel before you get on the ship. Some people do the land and sea, so you're in a hotel, then you actually go maybe to the national park or another city, and you're in a different hotel, then you come back to the cruise ship. You might stay over in the port city, the final port city, for a few more days as well. And so that method seems a little chaotic. So here's how I do it. I actually start with my base layer and I start to roll or fold that up. Then I think about what am I going to put over top of it, including maybe some kind of scarf or a little bit of an outer layer or accessory that I might want to add. And then what pants will I put with this particular outfit? And what I do is I actually then put those all together, start to roll or fold, and put them within the same packing cube. Then I look at the next item on the itinerary and I figure out what I had chosen for that particular day and events. And I pull the next outfit out and I put it within that same packing cube so that then things are together for the different itineraries in order as I would need them. That saves me from having to dig through 3 or 4 different types of packing cubes just to look for the one shirt that I needed for today. Step 8, let's talk about shoes, aka the hardest part to pack. Okay, so let's just be honest. Shoes are a real pain point for most travelers, regardless of where you're going. But if you're going to a cold weather climate, then most of the shoes that we need are bulky, they're heavy, and if you don't choose the right pair, then you can be miserable for your whole entire trip. And what do we need to think about for Alaska? We need waterproof shoes because it is going to rain. Regardless of what month you show up in Alaska, you might have a few sunny days, but you are going to encounter some rain at some point. And so I was thinking about taking my heavy boots that I wore to Germany. Quite honestly, when we went to Germany back in April of 2023, I debated, these are heavy, right? They take up a lot of space and I wasn't really sure. I wanted to wear them on the plane. And so at the very last minute, I threw them in my suitcase. And I'm glad I did because that 2-week trip to Germany in late April, we hardly saw any sunshine and it was raining and drizzly a lot. So those were a lifesaver, but I just didn't really want to take those to Alaska this time. So I did some research and I found out that Merrell actually makes some tennis shoes that are waterproof. But we are going to be doing some other things on the ship that maybe I don't want to wear my Merrells. We're going to have nights where we need to be a little bit dressier. And so I added a few other things that I can use as well. I added my Piccolino black boots that are short that I could wear to dinner with some dress pants, or they even look cute with a little black dress that I have packed. But then I could also wear these around town if I wanted. They're so comfortable. Now, if I want the open-toed kind of sandal look, I have these as well for my dresses. Now, I do have 2 pairs of these. I have the black pair that could go with a lot of things. And then I also wanted the tan pair so that I could wear with maybe some more of my pink or orange dresses that have a little bit more color. And they're really small. They don't take up a lot of room. Another thing that I packed are my white Piccolino loafers. I am in love with these. So they are like a tennis shoe type of support, but they look really cute with dresses or jeans. And of course, I'm going to need these once we get to Vancouver, Canada, because we're going to stay there for a couple days and hang out. And last but not least, of course, you need flip-flops. I wear flip-flops as soon as my feet hit the floor. So I'm going to need these in the cabin. I might need them to get into the pool or if I go to the spa. So they don't take up much room. I'm going to throw those in as well. So true talk here. My toes are the first things to get cold. And if I have cold toes, then I am not a happy camper. So I really tried to figure out what I could have that would keep my feet warm, but also dry and stylish. So I feel like I have kind of a good mix of that. So let's think about it. I've got the Merrell sneakers that are waterproof. I have the Piccolino boots that will help keep my feet dry and warm as well. I have the white Piccolino loafers, and then I've got 2 pairs of those little dress shoes. Oh, and my flip-flops. So I guess technically that's 6, but a lot of them are small and won't take up near as much room. Step number 9, keep it within the budget. Okay, so a lot of people, when they start thinking about vacation, then they want to buy a whole new wardrobe. You don't need to do that, people. No, 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 no. You don't need to do that for Alaska. You don't need to do that for Europe. You don't need to do that for the Caribbean. No, you need to just go into your closet and look at your favorites for that type of climate. What do you wear? Let's go shopping in our own closets. So if you take a little time to plan ahead and actually look through your own closet to see what fits your style, what fits this climate, you're going to feel really good about yourself. But there are occasions when you might need something new for a particular type of event or type of activity that you're going to be doing. And so that's always nice to know ahead of time. Some of the cruise ships actually have certain colored nights. They might have a white night for one evening, or I know on Virgin Voyages we had a scarlet night. And on Holland America, they actually do what they call the orange party night. And everybody wears some sort of orange. Now, this doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be a dress for women and a suit for men. I mean, it could just be something fun to wear, like a t-shirt of some sort. And on Holland America, I know you can add a splash of orange right there on the ship because they sell sunglasses, they sell feather boas, they sell a variety of orange things that you can actually add to your wardrobe at the last minute. As a matter of fact, my husband wore a navy shirt and light colored pants, but on a Holland America ship, he bought an orange tie and an orange belt, and it just added a quick little spark of orange. It was a lot of fun. Now, a lot of people don't have orange in their closet of everyday clothes. I actually do have a lot of orange, but it tends to be a little bit more tropical, like things that I would wear to Florida, like off-the-shoulder types of shirts or, strappy little dresses that I might wear in the Caribbean. So what I decided to do was be very intentional about my shopping. And I had a couple of styles of dresses that I really liked that I felt would keep me a little bit warmer. So I went on the search for something orange in that exact style. I have this black dress that is long sleeve and it's not tight on the hormonal belly and it has a few little layers down here at the bottom. I wore this on the Virgin Voyages cruise. Absolutely loved it. My mom got it for me for Christmas. It's one of my favorites. So I went on to Stitch Fix and I actually love to shop there because they know my size, they know my preference, and then they only show me things that work well for my frame. So I found the white with the orange flowers that I think will be perfect for orange night. It's more long sleeve, it's got the same little flowy sections. Love it. I did order this off of Amazon and it was supposed to be orange floral. But when I look at it, I don't know how it's going to show up on the screen, but when I look at it, it just screams pink to me. So it does have a little bit longer sleeves. It does probably go to my knees. And I think it's really cute. I tried it on and it feels really comfortable, almost like wearing pajamas. So I think it's a keeper, but I'm not sure it's necessary for orange night. So you might buy a couple of pieces for that specific type of event, but just be intentional. If you don't already have something in your closet, then by all means, go out and get what you need so that you can fit in with the rest of the group and have fun. So I did get one new sweater that I absolutely am in love with. Sherry from Cruise Tips TV actually had this on her channel, and I love it because the design is across the top. And I noticed when we went to Germany that a lot of the pictures did not seem to, show what I was wearing because I had a coat on. I had some sort of jacket. So isn't that cute that the design is across the top? And I found a navy scarf and I found a tan scarf at TJ Maxx, which I'm absolutely in love with. So another purchase that I made is actually two pieces. I have the tank here. And I have the matching pants. I like that it's monochrome. And this is what I plan to wear on the plane trip, leaving my warmer climate for a colder climate. I will actually also probably throw on my little white button up, which I absolutely love. And so those are my main purchases that were brand new that I did this time for Alaska. But everything else, tried and true out of my own closet. Things I love to wear, things that keep me so comfortable. Step number 10, always pack a backup outfit in your carry-on. Yeah, I like to look through everything that I've pulled aside, and I like to figure out, is there a lightweight pair of pants that maybe I could roll up and it would fit in my backpack or my satchel? Is there a nice little top that was part of this collection that I could add to my backpack again, or my carry-on that's going to go on the plane with me? I roll these up and put them inside. I make sure that they're in a backpack, not a carry-on that they might ask me to check once I get to the gate, right? If the plane starts to fill up, they might say, you have to check that roll-on suitcase. And so I'm like, no. Like I have this inside my backpack. So it doesn't take up much room. I roll it up. I usually have an extra pair of underwear. I throw in a brand new toothbrush, maybe a mini deodorant just in case. And that way, if something does happen to my luggage when I get to the location, then I can actually have an extra outfit that's available and can get me by until my suitcase catches up with me. And then there's our Merrell tennis shoes. Absolutely love these waterproof Merrell tennis shoes. And my husband and I were shopping together, and we found these at an outlet mall. We could buy one pair, get the other pair 50% off. So what a great deal, getting our waterproof shoes. So that's it. Just kind of shop your closet and look for specific gaps that maybe you have in your different activities, for your itineraries. And remember that the big point of Alaska is to see beautiful landscapes, see all of the animals, go out on those excursions that really are pretty pricey. So save your money for the memories, because no one's going to care if you had a new trendy sweater on or not. Bonus tip. As you are getting ready that final morning before departure, then think about everything that you're using along the way. And after you finish using it, immediately add it to your toiletries bag in your suitcase. Now, to be real honest, I travel a lot. I traveled for work as well as pleasure, and I have 2 sets of almost everything. But I will even double check my second set. Let's say I'm in the shower. I wash my hair, I use soap or body wash, I shave my legs. Then I immediately go over to my toiletries section and I make sure, do I have a current razor, maybe with a new head? Is my conditioner full in my little travel size bottle? Nope, then I need to go fill it up for this trip. If I use cotton balls, I check my little baggie of those to see if I have enough. I curl my hair, I let it cool down, I immediately put it in my suitcase. Whatever I use, I take my glasses off, put my contacts on, I make sure as soon as I'm done, it immediately goes in my suitcase. And this has saved me, guys. This has saved me not just packing to leave, from home, but also when I'm in a hotel. If I wake up and I unplug my phone so that I can use it as I'm getting ready, then I immediately take my charger, maybe my little extension that I use to charge a lot of different things, and I put it away. As I use it, I add it to my suitcase. So that's it. That's my 10-step process that I go through when I'm trying to pack for any climate, quite honestly. And so your big takeaway is just be thoughtful, right? Shop your own closet. Look for the clothes that you already love. Maybe fill in a few holes and gaps of things that you might need for something very specific. In Alaska, you want waterproof shoes that are going to be comfortable. And then try to throw in maybe something that will make you comfortable and feel those creature habits of home, like my pillow, okay? So this is the exact kind of practical, helpful advice that I give my clients when they come to me at Harbor and Holiday Travel Company to plan their bucket list trips. So if you would like to take the stress and worry out of planning a vacation, then feel free to contact me, Kristi, Kristi, at harborholidaytravel.com, or simply go to our website, harborholidaytravel.com, and there you can schedule a vacation consultation. And we'll talk through how I can provide excellent customer service to help you check off your next bucket list location. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you want more tips like this, then subscribe to Harbor Holiday Travel. And I want to wish you the best. No matter where you go, I hope you find joy in the journey.